Hey everyone. Um, just figured I'd do a quick live chat. Anyone around? We just came off Master Course 117 in the third generation finances, and tonight was absolutely over the top. Taught people a lot about energy movement, how we remove those blockages. What you put into the environment is how the environment will react to you. And in this course is just a piece of some of the geometry we were playing around with tonight. Um, in this course, we were just showing people how to identify the patterns, and the patterns would show up as you kind of feeling a little sick, a little ill, and then the patterns obviously are a path to the blockage in the physical body, and we blew those out with water, so it was pretty crazy. But tonight I actually started getting dizzy from teaching this course. I don't get dizzy tonight. There was a lot of emotion moving with the people that were on the course with us. And so, anyways, I'll be around for a few minutes if anyone's got any questions and want to ask anything. I'm here. Feel free. Otherwise, I'm gonna go. See you later. Going once. Going twice. I thought this Facebook Live was supposed to garnish like a huge amount of people. I mean, I don't know, I think close to the maximum amount of people you can get on your Facebook page. So again, any folks, if you want to chime in, I'm here. I'll answer anything. We can do a little bit of work. I'm actually kind of fired up, and this is a great way for me to kind of come down out of a course. But there's still a lot of energy flowing through me, and I need to funnel it. So maybe this is a good way to kind of let it out a little bit. It's actually good for you too. So we're excited. The HFA is going to go live probably next week. We aren't going to have. There'll be an email sent out to the entire list, but we're not going to have any MDM shows probably until the 17th of September. This weekend is Labor Day weekend, so we're not going to be doing anything. Next, the weekend after that is September 11th. Personally, I won't do a show on September 11th. I just think it's disrespectful. But we'll be back to 17th. But sometime, probably late next week, we'll be doing a live show over the official launch of the HFA. You don't want to miss that. We'll have a really good deal for you if you feel compelled to purchase one. So Sonia wants to do some cord cutting. Let's do it. Get a glass of water. We're going to do a little bit of cord cutting. So in this, you need to identify what particular cords you want to cut. Are they from an old relationship? Are they from some type of bad financial ties? Whatever, doesn't matter. I'll give you 2 seconds. This Facebook Live is kind of cool, but it's I don't think it's as good as the Google Hangouts. I mean, it's good for an energy vampire. Ooh, boy, where'd that come from? Yeah, the Facebook Live is kind of cool because I can just jump on there wherever I'm at and help out in the way that I can. Go ahead and put your left hand over that glass of water. No, no, don't. Take your finger, put it into the water. So the tip of your finger just pierces the water. And give it a minute. You'll feel that energy running up your hand. Now, as it's moving up your finger, just allow it to go anywhere it needs to. Now, if there's other people listening, this is just a cord cutting session. They're relatively easy. Energy flows in, energy flows out. Cords are energetically attached to you. Cutting them is really energy work 101. It's very simple. Put your attention on the water. Drink as much as you want. Watch the cord dissolve. You can take donations. You can just hit my PayPal. How'd that water taste? Again, folks, you got me here for a few minutes. I'm coming off a master class. A lot of deep energetic work we just did. I'm pretty fried, but I'm still in that flow. And when I'm in that flow is when magic happens. So now is your time. Yeah, of course it tasted bitter. Just watch where it goes energetically. It's just going to dissolve that cord. This is a good time to work with me. If you want me to do something quick, I'll be out. I'll be on a few minutes again. I'm just coming down off of the course. This is a good way to have it settle down. So again, folks, if you want me to do some quick work with you, if you want me to help you out with something, now's a good time. Just type it in the chat window down below, and I could certainly help you with it. We can have a little fun too. Let's have everyone wrap their hands around that glass of water. This is going to be an programmed intention on your part. I'm just going to facilitate it into fruition. This is your chance to just kind of play around for a few minutes. Wrap your hands around the glass, touch your fingers. Don't touch the glass. Very, very important in this one. Just wrap your hands around the glass. And you'll start to feel that energy move through your fingers into the water. Keep your attention on the water. Unprogrammed, just have some fun. Consider this. A lot of people call the source for the genie in the bottle for a good reason. Consider your water the genie in the bottle. This grants anything you want as long as it's for your highest good and in your path. So again, just wrap your fingers around. Keep your attention on the water. Hey, Donna. Donna was just with me through Masterclass 117 Financials, third generation. So she knows the output of what just happened. I'm feeling a little bit fried from it. So again, folks, we're doing a quick water programming. It's a unprogrammed one. It's your intention into the water. I'm just going to amplify it. When I'm in this flow, magic happens. Take advantage while you can while I'm doing this. Glass of water. Yeah, a long time no here. Wrap your hands around it. You'll feel the energy moving from your fingertips into the water. Very, very important. Keep your intention in your head, clear as a bell. Move it into the water. I'll count backwards. 3, 2, 1. You move your intention into the water. I'm doing all the programming. 3, 2, 1. Move it in. Bottoms up. That one tastes interesting. So Donna, what do you think about this Facebook Live? I think there's about a 10 or 15-second delay. Of course you're sweating. I told you. When I come out of a master course after helping the people that were in there doing what we're doing, very disassociated with. It's kind of like it's not. It's really hard to describe. I mean, you're conscious, you're aware of everything, but you're not in your body, but you are. And then when that energy flow, when the class is over, I'm still lit up like a light bulb. So if you're listening, if you're watching, now's a good time to get in something quick. I'm not going to be doing this for too much longer this evening, and it's a great way to get me when I'm really lit up. I'm tired, but I'm really lit up. When that happens, magic happens. I'm late to the party. Masterclass Reiki. No, the master classes are something that Donna and I thought up of actually late last year, and we we're now in the third generation. And basically, they're 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 a series of courses: MC1, MC2, and currently MC3, which we finished class number 5. And there's 6 classes around a central topic. MC3 is about taking control, and there's 10 courses in there that we do. And tonight was about financials, and for 45 minutes to an hour in an intimate setting over a conference call with some web techniques, we go through some motions, some homework that is really mandatory for people to do. I'll give you an example of what a homework assignment in the master class looks like. I'll give you tonight's actually. So this is generally mailed out a couple days, probably about 4 days before the course. It's really important that everyone does it. So tonight was course 117. It was finances. Abundance is a mindset that opens you up to receiving. It's not necessarily about money, although the two are often linked. Many find themselves pursuing and even obtaining financial wealth, but in an abundance mindset is lacking. The wealth will be short-lived. We'll learn ways to break patterns of stuck energy around money. You'll discover how to identify and eliminate your personal blocks so you can let go of chasing wealth and instead creating lasting abundance. That was tonight's topic. And around there, we do some really cool homework assignments. So this particular week, there's always 5 pieces to the homework. three are constantly three are constantly changing. One is always the same, and then there's one that implies a method, but the method subject changes. So the part of the first question, the first part of the homework assignment was complete one act of kindness in the world before this class. It can be small or large. It can be anything you want. Journal how you feel. And in doing that question, what it did was it creates a sense of positive karma that will circle back in, and you capture that feeling for the class. That's why I asked you to journal it. Question number 2 was, do you worry about your finances? Have you noticed that worrying does nothing to improve your finances? Worrying is the biggest conditioning mind fuck on the planet. When you worry about your finances, you kill that energetic flow that moves from point A to point B and from point B back to point A and vice versa. You know, they say that the shortest distance between two spaces is a straight line. And that's absolutely not true. You take those two spaces and you fold them. You create the space. You take the space between the 2 points and you take it out of the equation. That's what worrying does. Worrying stops that flow. Question number 3 was, what does finance mean to you on a deeper level? Really, finances mean to you on a deeper level. And these questions are really, really designed to invoke energy, illuminating certain parts of your physical body and light body that I'll be able to see when we're doing it, and I'll help you along. Question number 3 was, stare in the mirror and repeat the words, worrying about my finances cuts off the flow, a bunch of times. Very, very important, because in that part, that was the part that was talking about the question. The technique was constant, but the way it was delivered changes, and obviously, worrying about your finances cuts off the flow. What it does is it creates a karmic rift. It allows you to see the matrix, allows you to see the cartoon for what it really is, and also helps me to help you. And then the 5th part of that homework assignment was stare at the eye at the top of the email. And each week in the master classes, when the homework assignments are delivered, there's the Hallmark MDM eyes at the top of the screen, and that's programmed with certain frequencies that do different things. So, the master classes have been highly successful for people, and we've changed a lot of lives in an intimate setting. I bring about geometry, sacred geometry, teaching techniques, way unconventional, things that you've never experienced. The energy is just huge. It just flows. And the important part is the courses build upon the layers of the course before it. So for instance, if you were to come in tonight's class and hadn't attended the first 4, you probably would have thrown up all over yourself. That's how intense the energy can really, really get. Everything's done with water, sacred geometry. We use different points of the geometry to identify different parts of whatever the class topic is that night, and we move it through. And they've been very, very successful for the people attending them. And we're going to change. We're going to do a 4th generation. I don't know the time frame yet. Obviously, these take a toll on me mentally and physically, so we're probably going to take probably a good month off from doing these. But the 4th generation is going to be something unlike the first 3, and me and Donna were talking about the framework for it tonight. And I always talk about my belief system, how everything emulates from source, the wellspring, the Godhead, God, Buddha, Jesus, whatever you believe in. And where you are in conjunction with that source point is where you vibrate. And the closer you are to source, the higher you vibrate. The further out you are, the lower you vibrate. And I always describe it as rings outside of source. And the first ring is obviously the archangels and the ascended masters, and then as you continue out. But we want to make the fourth generation much more interactive. We're going to be doing live video possibly on these calls. You'll be seeing me draw the geometry firsthand. Very, very important. It's much more powerful that way, next to you drawing it. And the course topics are going to be modular. Now, I'm kind of thinking outside the box, but basically we're going to start at a sixth ring and work our way closer to source. This type of teaching I have never done publicly. I know how to do it conceptually, and when the time is ready, I'll have all the details. But as you move closer to source, those rings get tighter. And each ring will represent a class, and we'll start at the sixth one out, and we'll move closer. And as we move closer, they could be predefined or they might not be defined. I don't know yet, but it's going to be a lot of work on our part to deliver this. But more importantly, the master classes alone command a $300 price point. So the total value is or $400 value each. So it's times 6, it's $2,400. And we've been offering those for $997, and the graduates from 1 and 2 or whatever would get a discount on top of that. But I think what we're going to do for the fourth generation, because that line of teaching is really what everyone's after, and I have the knowledge, and it will be delivered in a mind-blowing setting. And I think what we're going to do is we're going to bring that price way down so I can get more people into this type of class, because the recordings are great. They are what they are, but the live, there's nothing like being live and interacting with us as we're doing it. So we're gonna get that price point down to hopefully increase the number of people attending and really get the message out. And basically, everyone in their life is looking to break through that veil, to see the world as it really is. Well, why are we here? Where are we going? Conditioning thinking. We're going to blow all that shit out, and we're going to move people into that flow. It's some people call it the other side, some people call it the membrane. I mean, it goes by many, many names, but we'll pull you through it. And it's like waking up for the first time. And once you're in there, there's no going back. You can't go back to sleep. Lord knows, man. I'd like to go back to sleep sometimes, and I can't. Once you wake up, you're awake. So, anyways, that's fourth generation, and of course we have the harmonic field amplifier. We're going to be debuting here, hopefully next week. That's going to be. It's doing amazing things for people. The people are responding to my request for video testimonials across the board. They're coming in, and I'm trying diligently, managing my time to produce those and get them out. Obviously, the MDM minute takes up a lot of my day, although it's only a 1 or 2 minute video. It requires a lot of thinking on my part. And sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes I just do it on the fly. I got a bazillion people sent me a million ideas about it. A lot of good stuff. So I'm going to get to every one of them. It's just going to take me a little bit of time to get there. So if you have any questions, you can just go ahead and type them in there. Hang on a second. Let me just see. I've been blabbing for a few minutes already, I think. Any physics? I don't know what they mean by that. Physics, I guess, are a part of it. I have, by the very nature of what I do, I have access to. I have a lot of access to information, unrestricted in some things, and sometimes I'm given little bits and pieces to share with the world. I do a lot of work through sacred geometry. Aquaware 5 is all based on sacred geometry. You may have noticed the Source 5 is now coming into fruition. The Source 5 is on par with Aquaware, but very different. Aquaware 5 is intent specific. We have over 1,000 pre-canned intents in that animal. And the Source 4, which will now be 5, will take the Aquaware 5 engine and move it into the Source 5. At the time, you'll probably hear that birth cry. It's crazy. And the Source 5 is all about manifesting your desires. You think in your head exactly what you want, and it brings it into fruition. The Source is an amazing product ever since the first version, the second version, third version. The third version 4 blew the doors off everything I thought was possible. 5 is taking it to a whole new level, total new ball game. It manifests your reality in a way that is just beautiful and magnificent, and it changes things around you. But it it does it in a way that's imperfectly aligned with your path. And what do I mean by that? It changes your reality around you. And what it does is, let's say, nah, I like to use the red Ferrari all the time. Let's say you want to bring a red Ferrari into your manifestation. Let me reverse a little bit. Let's talk about conscious creation versus unconscious creation, unconscious manifestation versus conscious manifestation. And these are the principles that drove me to build this piece of software. Unconscious manifestation happens to us 100 times a day, whether you're conscious about it or unconscious. No pun intended. So you're driving down the highway and you're just daydreaming, and you think of a red Ferrari for whatever reason, and 30 seconds later a red Ferrari drives by you. That's a deja vu. It's a synchronicity. It's a blip in the matrix. It's a fold in reality. It's unconscious manifestation. We do it all the time. We do it all the time. Red Mustang, great car. and But if you want to consciously create, manifest a red Ferrari, it's very, very, very different. Most people fail all the time because the way conscious manifestation works is you think about it in your head. You just think about it, and you have this you have this image of this red Ferrari in your head, and traditionally you just release it to the universe, and the universe grabs that thought and it brings it upstream in your data path or your conscious reality, and it starts creating paths that bring it into fruition for you. But the linchpin or the Achilles heel in this method is, by the time you release it from your head, and the universe starts creating the paths that'll bring it into fruition, if you have doubt or worry at any time during that, thought form's gone. Got to start over. That's why 99.9% of the people fail at manifesting what they want in life. What the Source 4 does is it takes your manifestation and you consciously direct it into water, and then you drink the water. So instead of it coming out of here, it comes out of the body on what we call light rays. And light rays create the path between your conscious mind and your manifestation, where the universe is putting it together. But it's supported on what we call light paths. And the light paths shield, okay, and this is the important part, it shields the manifestation from your doubt and your worry and everything else. Because in traditional manifestation, as soon as you have doubt or worry, boom, thought form is destroyed. You got to start over. Not so with the Source 4. That's why the Source 4 was so instrumental in delivering. It was such a hit, and it still is. But the Source 5 is going to be over the top. I mean, I've got the blueprints in my head, I've got the green light to make it. So look for that in the late October, November timeframe, somewhere around there. And then, back to the technology aspect, in maybe October, November last year, um, I've been doing software in this gig for a long time, over 10, almost 10 years now, since Aquaware 1 was first released, which was